More than half of Canada's Aboriginal people live in urban areas, far away from the sources of their traditional foods like fish, game, and berries. Wyss is working with Aboriginal groups in Vancouver to help people get back to the land without leaving the city limits.
Hey Art, how's it going?
In real life, the urban plant diva. So beautiful little place right underneath the train.
Yeah, this garden here is not just an Indigenous people's garden here. This community garden is a diverse community of many different cultures and nations from all over the world that live in this part of town. I think there's about 30 plots in this garden. My program has come in to try and raise the visibility of Indigenous people gardening in community gardens. This plot is actually a plot that belongs to the Urban Native Youth Association and the Broadway Youth Resource Center. One of the things that always concerns me is that there's a very high visibility of urban Native youth that are street youth, whether they're homeless or housed in some way. They are not accessing healthy foods. They wanted it to be focused on Native youth in the city and create a source of learning as well as food. And the youth especially really have this different change in their whole body makeup. You can almost see this DNA shift happen to something ancient, you know, that I know this feeling from a past life or something, I don't know. Just something shifts in them and they realize that they own this, that this is a part of them and has been a part of them for a longer time than they're even aware. What we have here is tobacco, because before, you know, contact with Europeans, tobacco always was this sacred plant, and in fact it's been used medicinally in many ways. Each of these plants grows hundreds of seeds, actually thousands. So what is a small patch of tobacco this year, we can take the seeds at the end of this growing season and hand them out to several communities and encourage them to grow their own tobacco. It's just been an ancient teaching to never let it come into our bodies. And so that's part of the teaching that we bring into a modern context. And I think growing tobacco really helps youth see that it's a living substance and that it has medicinal qualities. And so when we smoke it, it kills our lungs. But when we grow it, it actually provides oxygen to clean our lungs by just growing. I picked out a plant that I think would be good to harvest.
Where I come from, we have to do this. And for the plant, I'll offer this.
When we pick the tobacco plant, what we do is pick it from the base. So you'll put your hands down at the base of the plant and then just kind of shake it loose so that all the roots come out. Take it back with you and let it dry.
I'll use it in our ceremonies.
Haitchka.
Haitchka.
This is Harmony Garden, and before it was Harmony Garden, it was a gigantic blackberry bramble mess. The elders had started this community kitchen, and to make that a sustainable project, they needed to grow their own food. A small group of elders, about 10 of them, had a vision to create a community garden, and they raised about $100,000 to start this garden.
Small group of local elders raised $100,000.
Yes.
And they put it all toward this.
They put it all towards this. We talked about what the design of the garden beds would look like. They liked the idea of the circular energies.
And how did everything get so big? Like, these are big cauliflowers, big
Brussels sprouts.
kale, Brussels sprouts. Okay. What's your magic ingredient here? You got some kind of...
It's called love. Has everything to do with the soil as well as the caretaking. Just like in the community gardens in the city, we get composted soil donated. So if you want to spread that over across...
do you mix it in?
Yeah,
or
we'll just spread it across the top here, and then when we put the compost on, we'll spread that, and then we can turn it over a bit, and there we go.
So now this?
Yeah, and a nice big scoop of that compost.
And over the same?
Yeah, over the same area that you've done this. Gives it a nice There you go. Now if you want to just kind of turn it over in that little area there.
Now you begin
Yeah.
mixing.
Wow, you're natural at this, Art. There, now it's ready when we want to put some seeds in there. It's inspiring to me as a woman who's a mother, raising my kid and gardening with her in the city, to be in my community and looking at elders that they've retired and they're, you know, they need a purpose. They need to not be sitting in their houses. They don't just want to go and walk their dogs. They want to be in the community. They are worried about their future generations. And I think that in itself is such a blessing, that a garden being started by elders is like a ceremony unto itself. It leads by example for the rest of us.